Happy lunch hour, guys. All right. So this is one I want to go over. There was a topic brought up by one of y'all. What to do when your OPSEC is compromised. Now, by definition, most preppers, if you will, are private people. We kind of want to just be left alone, let us do our thing, and move on. Okay. We don't put signs out in the front yard saying, "Hi, I'm a prepper," or, announce to the world everywhere what you do. I'm in the grocery store. Why are you buying a flat of beans? Oh, I'm putting it away just in case something happens. Okay, we don't do that. But there are times when your privacy disappears. Okay, I'm going to read you this email real quick. It's short. Christmas night, I went to bed telling my husband we had a fantastic Christmas. The 10-year-old and the 6-year-old were happy and got everything they could want and hopefully more. Definitely felt blessed and grateful. To wake up on the 26th to our entire basement completely flooded from a burst pipe in the middle of the night. Every place was closed, of course. We worked together with family and friends to start tearing out carpet, padding, and drywall. Then the major restoration crew arrived on Tuesday. And while ultimately I feel we're in good hands with all the workers coming in and out, our basement was our storeroom for tons of our preps. I'm sure they have to think we're mass hoarders. The day the first team arrived, I was pressure canning chicken broth I had made Christmas Day, and the main guy overseeing the project every day eventually asked me if I would sell him a jar of the broth. It caught me off guard, as I never thought of that as something to sell, like the soap and candles I make for fun and occasionally sell. So I know the workers have noticed, and we're still struggling to get everything upstairs. The workers say we don't need to move everything, but I fear it's too late. They already know how much we have. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people will face this. You got to have something in the house fixed that just so happens to be in the room where you keep your preps or whatever it is. There's nothing you could do about it after the fact. Even before the fact, it's pretty different or difficult. And I'm going to explain why it's not that big of a deal. Couple of things first off. Sure, I know everybody say you don't store all your preps in the same spot. It doesn't sound like they stored all their preps in the same spot. This just happened to be where they had the most amount of space to store them, so it gets more. All right, you get that. There's only so much you can fit under the kitchen sink, but if you got an empty bedroom or a basement or something, that's where everything winds up. In an SHTF situation, it's not going to take long till the other people around you figure out you've got something. And I know people talk about, oh, I've got bigger clothes so it doesn't look like I'm hungry and things like that. Sure, okay. But if you've got a garden, for example, they're going to know you have food. If you've got livestock, chickens, or rabbits, or cows, or pigs, or goats, or something, they're going to know you have food. If you slip up at one point and turn a light on in the house without the windows all being blacked out, they're going to know. If you don't stink like high heaven, they're going to know you have water or soap or whatever would be. Okay? That's the first part about it. Now, what could have been done, and I'm not saying that JJ did anything wrong or anything like that. Hindsight's always 20/20, all right? But just something to think about. The one part that really threw me here was when the guy asked to buy a jar of chicken broth. Now, it could be that they're running inside out of the house. It's that Christmas cold spell. The guy's cold and he smelled something that smelled like hot chicken soup and he wanted some. That's probably my bet, is what the guy was hoping for, okay? But you don't know if somehow one of those people is a prepper or thinking of it or something. Why he wants to buy one can of chicken soup or chicken broth, I'm figuring it's because he was cold. But sometimes by other people seeing some of what you have, maybe it opens up a conversation. I mean, the big question always comes about, how do I find other like-minded people? And sometimes the only way to do it is to open yourself up, to let a little bit of your guard down. That's the only way that anybody else is going to know. Because again, remember, just because you're practicing, I'm not OPSEC, I'm not going to tell anybody. So is that other person, and the two of you can be standing face to face, and if neither one of you says anything, neither one of you guys knows anything. Now, could this be an issue in the future? Yeah, maybe. All right. If SHTF happens this week, all of a sudden the grid goes down, the grocery stores close. As Rudy put it the other day, we have bail-ins in the bank and the bank's all shut down, whatever it would be. Yeah, it could be somewhat of an issue. These guys are going to remember, hey, we were just at that house the other day. Remember, they had a whole bunch of insert prep here. The other thing is, and you guys have done this too. You come home at the end of the day and go, honey, you won't believe what I heard at work today, or honey, you won't believe what I saw at work today. We've all done that. And there are some people that were on that cleaning crew that went home and told their spouse, yeah, I was working this house today and you should have seen this, and I'm making this part up, okay? They had 1,000 cans of food and, 55-gallon totes of water or whatever it was. Okay, a couple of things could happen there. Cool, we know where we're going if the world ever blows up. Or, you know what? Maybe that's not a bad idea that we do something like that too. It could have been an educational experience for one of those people that was working on the project. You don't know, okay? We all have a tendency to think, oh my God, my security's compromised, etc. Yes, it is, okay? But it's not the end of the world. It's not like, oh my God, pack up and move. Somebody realized that we've got a bunch of cans of cream of wheat downstairs in the basement, and the whole world's going to come knocking at our door. Give it a few weeks. Let's hope the world lasts that long, but I figure it will, okay? I'm not expecting World War III to start tomorrow, though it could, okay? But whatever happens, okay? If a blizzard shows up or whatever. If a blizzard shows up, they're not coming to your door, guys. They're not going, you know what? The grocery stores are closed. Let's go to JJ's house. But if things got really bad, okay. But in a few weeks, in a month, they're not going to remember which house it was. So don't lose sleep over it. Go, oh my God, 8 guys in a cleanup crew found who that we store food. It probably never even crossed their minds, okay? They may have thought, hey, they're hoarders or something like that. We've all, if you've ever worked where you had to go to somebody else's house, everybody's walked into somebody else's house and go, oh my God, I can't believe this. And, the house, I can't believe how beautiful the house is. I can't believe that there's dirty dishes all over the place, whatever would be. Okay. But they're not going to remember which house. So I wouldn't lose sleep over it. It's one of those, don't advertise, but don't beat yourself up because circumstances happened that, gee, we couldn't move all the preps out of sight before the cleanup crew came to be. Fine. Now you know that your security has been slightly compromised. And if the world does blow up in a couple of weeks, and these guys could possibly remember, it just tells you to beef up your exterior security a little bit. it's going to happen to a lot of us, guys. It doesn't make a lick of difference. I don't care where you store stuff, okay, or what you have. It's not going to take long for people to figure out that you have something they don't. Like I said, whether it's you got stacks of firewood outside and they don't have any firewood. Where do you think they're coming? Okay. They see you driving a vehicle. They don't have any gas. What do you think's going to happen? You can only hide so much. Don't kill yourself going, oh my God, not that JJ is or anything, but oh my God, I've lost, my security. All right. Accept it and move on. There's nothing else you can do. Like I said, you're not going to move, so you can reestablish, your hiding places. Now just adjust, as the line goes, improvise, adapt, and overcome. And this is a good lesson for that. I'm going to rake some more leaves. Pinball out.